Hello, lovelies. You're once more welcome to my YouTube channel. This is Tuchu Mavis, the hustling goddess. Today is story time. You've seen by the title, got dumb while I was having his baby. Okay, let's start. We're going to call this lady's name Alexi. We're going to call the man's name Tom. So the story goes like this. I met this lady actually, and we're having a conversation, and I thought of bringing it here on this platform so that we can learn. She told me, she said, I met this man some years ago. She's a Cameroonian back then in Cameroon, and she says they were dating. They have been dating, and they're having this very epic and romantic, wonderful time, and it just feels so good. She even had to travel from Cameroon to Nigeria so that she can go visit her lover. And later on, as the relationship was progressing, she decided the man traveled to UAE, precisely Dubai, and so she made her documents. She also traveled and she met this lover of hers, and she told me that they had a wonderful time. It was all lovey-dovey, it was all blisses and love texts, the beautiful things that relationship goes when it comes to at the honeymoon stages. At the honeymoon stage, they went through it all. And so later on, she found out that she was pregnant, and she says from then the man started behaving a type, and she for some reason couldn't place her finger on what was actually wrong in the relationship, but she felt like the man was distancing himself from her. Mind you, they had those lovey-dovey times when they were in the hotel. So as time progressed into the relationship, they decided that they would want to take a place of their own, like they were thinking of starting a family. And I was like, wow, that's such a beautiful love story, because of course I love love. And she was like, the man didn't love the wife. And like, the man didn't love the wife. Who told you that? And she says, the man told me that he didn't love his wife, that he was forced to get married to her. And after you believe that the man was forced, and he paid the bride price, he went to court, he signed, and they were blessed in church. And she was like, whenever the man was around me, he was so happy, and he told me that all his life he has never been this way happy until he met me, that I am his happiness. And I was like sitting in my mind, and I'm like, how can you enter into a situationship and expect a benefit of a relationship? You knew that, sis, you knew this man was taking. This man was taking. It was not like he was even in a serious relationship. That would have been better. He is a married man, and you didn't see anything wrong with that. And I'm just staring at him like, yo. I'm like, look at what you landed yourself into. And then I just knew that from that very, when she said the man was married, I knew that relationship was never going to work out. Now, secondly, she says that they were so compatible. I'm like, sis. Okay, when you talk of compatibility, tell me, I want to know more. I want to know more about compatibility. What is compatibility to you? He says, like, we do things together. We love the same thing, I could smoke, and he knows he could smoke. We could just burn cigarette bulbs, and we had fun. And he was such a hypersexual human being. And I was just like that. And I was like, sis, is that what you call compatibility? Is that what you call compatibility? you smoke, you drink, and the sex was super cool, and you call that compatibility. My goodness, how could you even put yourself in such a deadly ground? Now let me tell you, even a jerk does not want to get married to his type. Even a cheat does not want to get married to a cheat. A liar does not want to get married to a liar, because they truly don't love themselves. They're looking for somebody that looks better than them. Why would you even think that he will want to leave a woman that will nurture his children for you? For you, that you are just a like of him. Now, so that when he has kid with you, you people will be drinking over over your children's destiny, or you'll be smoking. I'm like, no. In my mind, I'm like trying to digest the whole story. That I'm like, you let yourself into what has turned out, or what is a complete failure. First of all, you realize that he was married. It didn't stop you, sis. And she says, as she was rushed into the hospital, that was the last day and time that she set her eyes on her man. And she says that was when reality hit home. Now she was so confused, because now she's in a strange land, she's doing nothing, and she has just become a mother with nobody to help her. She couldn't even cry. She wanted to, but couldn't. Wanted to pass out, but couldn't. Wanted to go crazy, but couldn't. And then she told me, have you ever been in that situation where you are almost like you are just posting? You're like, how do I get myself out of this? Like, how do I get myself? And you turn left and you turn right, and there is no solution. You are so confused. And I was like, girl, so how did you even cope with how? I want to hear more. And she told me that a lot happened. I'm not going to say it here on screen. I'm not going to put it out there. But she struggled so badly. She left the hospital. On going to the place where where she stayed with her man, it was empty. The man had packed everything and left. His number was not going through, and she was having a 2-week baby held close to her with the baby's things. And she told me that's how she called a friend, and that's how she carried her back to the friend's place, and she had to leave there. She had to beg, because then she had nothing with her. And I was like, but you told me that this relationship was so wonderful, this man was so romantic. What happened? What happened? When you were dating this guy from the beginning, did you see any red flag? And she told me, she was like, no, he was so perfect. He was more than the word perfect. I didn't see any trace or any red flag. I'm sorry for that. And I was like, you didn't see any red flag? Are you sure that this man didn't show you that green light that you neglected because you were in love? And she said, she told me nothing. But she went on. Now this is where the story becomes interesting. She told me that the man told her that he didn't love his wife. I was like, oh my God. Was he a married man? Is he a married man? And she says like, yes, the man is married, but you know, the man never loved his wife. I like, and who told you? And she says the man. And I like, you believed a man that had to pay the wife's bride price, got married to her legally, and they were blessed in church, is scam. You realize that he's a married man. It didn't stop you. Why would you first of all want to, like, I'm like, why do you see a need to hurt another sister? And I'm like, the man was mainly using you. You're that thing that looks like him that he doesn't like. But again, you give him good sense. What do you expect? You're not a woman that he can even house. A man smokes 10 sticks of cigarette and you do the same, and you call that compatibility? Who does that? Who does that? We have to really start putting our sisters, we should put our feet in their shoes. Now what if the stories, if the table kind of like was turned and you're married and another lady is busy having good time with your husband in the name of compatibility, having fun and promising you that they would divorce the wife to settle with you? Do you know the pain that lady went through? No, sis, you didn't bother. Why? Because you are selfish. And there are some ladies out there, a woman is crying in her home because you have cornered the man and you call yourself beautiful more than the wife. It's actually so unbelievable what another sister will do to another sister. And nothing will make a sister, nothing will make another sister to act that way if not of low self. You don't have confidence of yourself, low self-esteem. So when another sister is brought down, because I'm sure that when this man told her that this woman was this, she wasn't beautiful, she wasn't that and that and that, she was happy. She was happy because then it makes her feel good. Because when you are mentally okay and a man kind of like degrade another woman and you know your worth and you know what it feels, you will leave the relationship. You will pack out because you know that if he can literally run another woman down, you are not an exemption. It's just that you are the brighter side of the relationship. Now when things goes down, he will be mocking at you. He will be making Jesus at you, just as he brought his wife's history, so that people can laugh about it. It's very so bad. It's so bad because now she has landed herself in a situationship. She's in a foreign land with a baby and she's not working. It could have been avoided from day one. He is married, story closed. You have nothing to do with a married man. Stop believing that your spouse could be another woman. And it is high time that we stop believing that lie, that another woman's man is your soulmate. If truly they are your soulmate, they will not be married to somebody else. If they are, let people have fun. Let people enjoy their lives. Walk away from a relationship from the very moment when you realize that it's a situationship. If she had said no to this man, she would not be in a strange land. It's such a very sad story because when this love story was told, I was like, wow, I love love. But when she started giving me the points of what the man was, and she was like, she's cursing this man, you won't be well with the man is such a bad man, the man dumped her. I was like, girl, what if this woman is to curse you? You know, the only thing I can say is that you're reaping for it is karma. You can run away from anything, you can take the man, go places with this man, but when karma visits you, it will visit you when you least expect it. And when it hits you, it will hit you so badly. So, now what do you think? What do you think about side chick who thinks that they are better than the wife? Have you ever been in a situation that you feel like you step in and you want the wife to step aside so that you can go in and have the man? And even if it is successful, it won't last longer, I promise you that. Meanwhile, thanks once more. If you've come to the end of it, I'm so grateful. Now I want you to like, drop your comment. I want to hear more. Any stories about such dirty entanglement, I would like to know also. And how was the outcome? Did it end well? I would like to know. Thank you and see you next week.